Hello, crafty friends. This is the Paper Chef here. Welcome to Christmas in July, where we're going to be coloring an angel and Santa from this So Very Merry stamp set by Stampin' Up. What's really cool about this is that it coordinates with our punch, the 2 3/8 inch punch. So that I've already done the punching out of these for you. So just to save time, and I took out all my blends, and I just want to go ahead and do that part with you, like talk about the coloring with the Stampin' Up blends, or they're called Stampin' blends. And I want to, maybe later we can stamp and punch it out. But we're going to definitely do some coloring. And what I did for the insides of these cards is I put the Wishing You a Season of Cheer, and I got that one from the Horse and Sleigh stamp set. And then I put this one in here, this one called Very Merry. Oh, let me bring that over to the camera. Very Merry. Let me move my light a little bit there. That is from the stamp set So Very Merry. Okay, so that's pretty cool. We have inside sentiments and outside sentiments. And of course, top them both off with Wink of Stella. And the reason I came up with these particular colors are because I'm using the One Horse Open Sleigh Designer Series paper. And that paper has these coordinating colors in it. And I'll just talk about them as I go. So I used, for example, let's start with the angel. Let's just start with the angel and start coloring that as I'm talking. It's just easier as I color as I talk. And what I'm doing is I just kind of made the angel in my image is what I did. I gave her brown hair. I gave her like I said, what color would I wear if I was an angel? And then I was like thinking maybe a gold dress if I was an angel. I'd wear a gold dress. So then that's what I gave her, a gold gown. But then I was like, I didn't really have gold, so I had Lemon Lolly. That's the Lemon Lolly blends. Lemon Lolly also happened to be a color coordinating color for this paper. So that kind of made me decide to use Lemon Lolly for her dress. And then what I did is I just went, and instead of using the blends for each section, I just used the blends, the dark and light blends, but I would do each section separately. So right now I'm using the dark Lemon Lolly blend. Now, if you don't already have a set of Stampin' blends, you're missing out. These coordinate with our Stampin' Up Designer Series paper. I mean, they coordinate with things, so you really have a nice chance of things matching. And so like this is Lemon Lolly is the color right in here. It's the color in this background there. It's just nice. Now, right now we are having on my Stampin' Up store, right there. Okay, paperchef.stampinup.net. I'm using the light Lemon Lolly. I'll talk about everything I'm doing, and as I can walk and chew gum, hopefully. And on my Stampin' Up store right now, during the month of July, and only during the month of July, there's what's called the dollar days. I'm calling it dollar days. They call it bonus days. So you can get, for every $50 you spend, okay, I think I colored the whole dress. For every $50 you spend, you get a coupon. I'm going to go ahead and do the hair. Dark crumb cake for the hair. And then light around the outside of the hair. So you get a $5 coupon. And then starting next week, next week will be, so in August, you get to use all your $5 coupons. There's no limit to how many $5 coupons you can earn. So it's like saving 10%. So if you're going to shop anyway, you may as well get it this month. And I always have suggestions. I just did a video the other day of what kinds of, all the 7 stamp sets I suggested. There was a stamp sale we had. Now that's over, but I suggested 7 stamp sets. For example, Bird's Eye View, because it was one of my card club stamp sets. I'm suggesting this one for Christmas, and this one. And I suggest this one as well. So, I mean, there's lots of suggestions here. And I'll show you examples of these in a little bit. I'll show you the cards we made with those. And let's see what else I could suggest for stamp sets. If you're going to get them anyway, let's see. We already voted for September, my Card on Blue Card Club members. I have a card club. If you want to join my card club, just go ahead and go to the link in the bottom of this description. I'm just putting stuff over there because of this. I'm going to put stuff in this corner because of the glare. Here, so I pile stuff there. It's so shiny. I don't like the glare. Anyway, in my card club, they voted on let's see. Handmade hugs is what they voted on. That got more votes than the taco one. So now what I'm doing is I'm using light gray granite for the wings. And then I was going to use a color lifter after that. But I ended up not using a color lifter. I just used light gray granite and light smoky slate. And I just sort of went almost every other one. Kind of alternate a little bit like that. Just because there's a little bit different tones. Because this is stained glass, you want to take your colors and sort of alternate them. Just so it looks kind of cool, right? And then the background, I just did blue like it was the sky. And I used Pool Party for the background. So pull out your markers. You can use your markers, but the blends work much better for this. So like I said, if you don't already have Stampin' blends, it's a great time to get these, especially for the holiday season. You're going to be doing a lot of coloring if you're making cards. And I've already decided what to vote on for the next, but my card club members can't vote until next month because I'm not allowed to, I do have a catalog request form, but I'm not allowed to share the catalog with you. But I did see the holiday catalog. So in October and November and probably December, we're going to be using stamp sets for my card club that are single standalone stamp sets or ones that just have maybe a punch with them for our card club. And there's some really awesome ones that they're going to get to vote on. So I am sending out catalogs. You know what? That might have been a piece of the sky because it was a line like that, but I made it part of her wings. I guess it doesn't matter, right? Now, if you want the wings, if you don't want them to be so dark, just go ahead and use a color lifter on the whole thing. But I thought it would be like silver and gold. That's what I was going for, the silver and gold look. And a color lifter. What's a color lifter? It's one of our markers. Let me show you. Let me put some of this stuff back here. Let me see if I can just put the paper over there, and then you won't get the glare. I think that'll work. Sometimes just put stuff like that there. There's this big glare from my light. It's called a ring light. Anywho, let's see. And then I used, okay, let's put these back here. I used these these are called skin tone blends. We have some skin tone blends, so I used 8 and 900 just to sort of alternate. Well, actually, I don't think I needed the 900. I think I just used, let's see, I think I used the 800. So that would be for the face and the hands. So they're like the skin tone blends. We sell those in lots of different colors. So I have the crumb cake covered. Now we're going to use Pool Party. My Pool Party is kind of, it's really juicy, but my nibs, I may have to cut the nibs off a little bit. It's no big deal. This is what you do. When they get frayed like that, you just chop them off. Until you have no more. That's what I've had to do before until, I didn't want it to go on my other stamp. You just kind of cut the frills off until you have like no more frills. It does work a little bit until I'm down to nothing. And then I'm like, all right, it's time to replace my, my blends, right? It just gives you a little bit more control. Or if you really want control, you can use the smaller thin side. So I'm going to just alternate between dark and light. Okay, light, dark, light, dark. I'm going to go ahead, while I have this out, we're going to start coloring Santa. Let's make her, we'll get her over there, but just because I need this one to be over here to color Santa. So we're going to go ahead and do Santa's sky. If you hear all those frogs, it's been raining like all day and really thunderstorm, so it was so loud you wouldn't have been able to hear me. But I end up having to wait, and now the rain is over, but now the frogs are all going crazy. I don't know if you can hear them in the background. I just found a bunch of frogs in my garage. I was like, come on, get out of here. I don't want to lock you inside. But of course, they won't leave. They kind of follow the light, so wherever there's light, the frogs will follow. Okay, so that's the sky. And it's sometimes good to just look at your other ones because you can easily mess up and think that's part of the sky. It's part of the bag. It's part of a Santa sack, but you just have to kind of... So what I do is once I color something and I get my colors right, now I'm going to use the light. And you have to just do... I might chop this off. The light Pool Party. Anyway, once you get them the way you want them, you just start using your others as an inspiration for your own projects. So use your card. Once you make one card, just use it to color the rest of your cards, sort of in mass production format. Now this one is kind of drying out. This pool party is the one I use the most of. I've probably gone through, since the blends came out several years ago, I probably gone to several sets of the pool party the most. So maybe I've gone through 3 sets of like crumb cake. That would be the second most. But this one's the one I've gone through about 5 sets of because I use it so much to color skies and to color snowmen. And I'm telling you, you're going to love this new catalog. I didn't see snowmen per se. There's a polar bear, but there's lots of bears. But I think I'll use this a lot because there's a snowflake bundle, which I'm definitely interested in. I like snowflakes and stuff like that. And I like anything whimsical. So I'm already eyeballing a few sets to use for our next upcoming things. All right, so let's see, we're going to need the lemon lolly again because we're going to do the real red around here and there. So let's do the lemon lolly for his sack. So for Santa's sack, so let's go. I'm just going to maybe do like alternate sort of dark, light, right? That's if you want his sack to be gold, but of course it's up to you. Now that one might be more of a shoulder, but I wasn't sure. I made this part of the sack, but I'm thinking it might even be part of Santa's shoulder. I made that the hand. I mean, really, you can never go wrong, right? It's the way you want to do it, but this time I think I'll make that one part of his. Oops. I'm going to have to go ahead and chop my real red too. All these are really drying out on me. At least it gives me a little bit more control. All right. I'm going to probably use the thin side for the rest of this. So let me go back to the lemon lolly and get the light color. I just want to make sure I didn't accidentally not make that the shoulder. So I wanted to make sure I colored the shoulder in. Sometimes it's like a safety thing where you color, part of something so you don't forget to color the rest of it. All right, good. So I'm going to do red here and some reds up there. So we're going to do, for the hat, we're going to just do a couple sections of dark, real red, and the light real red. Now there's other kinds of reds. If you really want to make a nice cool layering effect, you could try like Poppy Parade and Sweet Sorbet. But the reason I'm using the real red again is to coordinate with that. The light and dark to coordinate with the paper one-horse open sleigh. Yep, I can hear the frogs out there. Now my neighbor is afraid of frogs, and so is my sister. They both they see a frog on my porch when we go outside to hang out when they visit. Whenever they visit and there's a frog outside, they're like freaking out. I'm going to color the real red for that one in a moment. I just want to do his beard and stuff in the face first. So here's where I use the different colors. That's where I needed the 8 and the 900, because what I did for the face was right here. Yes, thank you, Kathy, for talking about the demonstrator. Yeah, so the catalog next month, you can't get it. The customers can't get it. If you do request a catalog, you can get it from me, but you can't order from it. That's another reason to join Stampin' Up!, join my team. There's so many reasons to join my team, but one of them is to get to pre-order from the catalog in August. I mean, that's a reason alone. I think after I get off here, I'm gonna write a bunch of reasons to join. But you really want to join because you can pre-order. I mean, that's one of the best perks about being a demonstrator. Now, the customers can't order until September. But a lot of you guys are demonstrators, so you got to see that catalog. So you know what I'm talking about. We get to already see the PDF. We don't actually have the catalog, and I can't send it to you until the mailing comes out. You can request one by tomorrow. Right? Go ahead and request a catalog from me. Use the form. Use the link in the description where it says Paper Chef's Offerings. And then request a catalog. I'll send you a catalog in August. Whether I do have to pay for catalogs, so don't request them from a bunch of different demonstrators. We run small businesses, so we have to buy our catalogs. So don't go, oh, I'm going to get a bunch of catalogs and request them from everybody. Just request one. That's all you need in print, because we give it to you in digital too, as well. But anyway, once you get a catalog, I send it out in August. Whether I send it out from the company, it depends. If you request a mystery crafty surprise or something, if you buy something else when you're getting the free catalog, the free mini catalog, then I just wait and I'm going to mail it to you directly because I'm sending you the mystery crafty surprise anyway, or the mystery apron, or whatever mystery item you purchased. But if you just got a free catalog, you'll probably get the catalog directly from Stampin' Up, from a mailing, what's called a mailing selector. So it's like a bulk mailing, and you'll get that catalog in August. Now, some of my customers, they request a catalog, and if they still don't have the annual catalog, I might just send you everything together. But just because you requested now doesn't mean I'm just going to like send it out the next second. It takes a little bit for us to send it out. Okay, so I used the Wink of Stella. It's shiny. I don't know if you can see that. It's nice and shiny. We're not going to do the Wink of Stella on that one yet. We're going to do the real red. Now, for these sides, I need to use the thin side. Make sure you use the thin side for this. What I'm doing now is I'm coloring the angel, the circle around the angel. And you must use the thin side because the thick side is just going to, you know, just run all over the place. The brush is too thick. All right, so I'm almost done coloring, and then we'll cut the pieces we need. So thank you all for coming on. And it's not late everywhere in the world, but here in the U.S., got our late night crafters, and I never come on at the same time. So once in a while I schedule my lives, but this case, I just waited for it to stop raining. And when I was done my cards and it stopped raining and a bunch of combination of factors and I was done my photos, and even though I'm in the middle of it, I was started to do my kits for my Hey Chuck Workshop series. So I was working on my kits. This is some paper. I had just put all these in bags tonight, and my mom's helping me with the kits. And I was just, anyway, once I got to the point of, okay, I'm ready to go live, I go live. So that's when, so I'm glad some different ones of you can catch me at different times, which is really nice. So hello, Deborah from New South Wales, Australia. And Dawn and Yvonne wrote something but retracted it. Not sure what that was. Hello, Lori from Dublin, Ohio. Yeah, I guess you always have to say, Lori must have to say Ohio a lot because people think when you say Dublin, they must think you're talking about Ireland, right? And hello, Karen. Okay, thank you, Yvonne. She's saying she loves the Christmas cards because she was at the other Christmas in July I did on One Horse Open Sleigh stamp set. So all these stamp sets are available now. You don't have to wait for the holiday catalog. Everything I'm showing you, the reason I'm able to show you right now is because it's available right now. All of these things. Hello, Kathy from Backyard Stamper. And she's answering lots of questions. So that's good. Hello, Janet. Janet can also answer a lot of questions. She's on my team. Hello, Nubia. The new catalog. Okay, Kathy's already answering about the new catalog. You can't shop the new catalog until September. It's out now for demonstrators. We can all see it, but we can't show it to anybody. I'm not allowed to show you the catalog until it actually gets released in September. I could send it to you in the mail, and you can have a physical copy of it, but I can't open it up on the camera. I'll show you the cover of it as soon as I get it, but right now I'm only seeing the PDF of it. It's fantastic. There's, like I said, there's snowflakes and bears. I mean, there's lots of stuff. And the bears, I'm not like spoiling anything because you might have already known about the bears because they did this event where they already showed, they did a sneak peek of the bears. Well, at least for all the demonstrators, and people have been talking about it for a while now. There's this bear punch, and they told us about it way, like a month or two ago at one of our online events. They were talking about the bear punch, so people started already talking about it. I mean, I could talk about it. I can't show it to you. But there's a bear and a bear stamp set. Pretty cool. Okay, so that's the angel now. What I was talking about, the color lifter, let's just show you how that works. A color lifter is when you mess up. It's like an eraser for alcohol markers. So when you mess up, it lifts the color. But what you might want to do on these wings, if you want, you could just kind of go over the whole wings and make them lighter. And it would be a way to lift the color off. Now, it doesn't, you're probably like, well, nothing's happening, Papered Chef. Well, just wait a minute. You'll see that they actually do get lighter. And I can go ahead and put meanwhile, I could put I don't know. I have all these Wink of Stellas that need to be refilled and renewed. This one's good. This one's good. I'm putting some glitter on everything. Yeah, so if you're gonna stock up on these stamp sets that are called online exclusives, then get yourself some Winkostella, get yourself ready for the Christmas season. So we have 3, it's lightening up, see, compared to this one. It is getting a little bit lighter, but the more times you rub on it with the color lifter, the lighter it gets. I'm just gonna go over it with the Winkostella just to be done with it. Then I can make the cards. All right, so now let's see what to make. Let's see. We'll make the cards with the paper. So for this one, I used Misty Moonlight and the paper, and this one I used Real Red. So let's see what we have. We'll probably let you vote here. We could vote on the paper. When I see something I stop. When I see something I really like. Now, I do really like that, but I don't want to hide that, the little deer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't really go with the deer. So I do love that one a lot. Now, this one's cool. Okay, so this one is a weird perspective, so we can't really use that. So this one's cool. And the fox, I want to do that separately. Like, I don't want to hide the fox. Now, there's other sides of these papers which are awesome, but what I'm looking for right now are the scenes. The scenes that are cool. Okay, I do really like that. I do like that paper a lot. All right, so let's go with that. Or this little house is okay. All right, so let me see. We'll do another. We've already done one of these though, so we don't want to vote on it because you already know what it looks like. See, that's what it already looks. We've already seen that, so we don't want to vote on that one. So we're gonna say. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, or 3. Just for and the ones that get the 2 votes, we'll just do 2 cards anyway. So now I'm going to get out my trimmer. We're going to cut the 2 at once that we need. All right, 3, 3, and 3. Okay, so this is definitely one of the cards. So this has already got a vote. Now 1 or 2. Go ahead and vote 1 or 2 for the second card. So we're going to do it because we're going to do a Santa card as well. And then we'll decide how to put them together. And then I'm going to pull out some. I already got the card stock. I already have the red for the Santa. And as you're doing that, I'm going to look for, we'll probably use a pecan pie. Okay, so we have the 2 is next. So, okay, so we have a 1 and a 2. All right, so what we want to do is I'm going to get out. Let's see. This is a pecan pie. I like the cards too. We'll use that for the layers. Oh, here's a layer. I like the cards to open this way. So we're going to use a Misty Moonlight and a Real Red, right? And then we're going to we'll use pecan pie for a layer. And I could probably use, I'm just seeing if one of these is already, this is already a embossed layer, but that might work. I could put this embossed layer there. Yeah, I'll use this embossed layer. Because you always have to have something in something in this little background behind this paper, I think. Put that one there. And so basically this is 4 by, all right. We're going to put these, we're going to use these. These are our card elements. And we're going to stamp as well, but we need to write this down. So the first layer is cardstock. Okay. The first layer on any card is, well, the card itself is 8.5 by, right, 5.5, right, like so. And then you're score at 4.25. Okay, so that's the card itself. Now this is cardstock. Right here, you need a layer of cardstock that's going to be 5.25 by 4 inches high. Now this little piece of DSP is just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So we got 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. That gives you that really cool outline. So you get this really nice outline of the card itself with just a sliver of the layer, making it look really professional. So we need our 2 card layers. We need to take a trimmer and sort of make sure we get the right part of this. So when you're cutting your paper, you don't want to cut your scene apart. So let's see. Well, first of all, let's try this one. We know it's only going to be 3 7/8, but we don't want to cut off too much of the tree. So let's go down to like here about, right? Following? So I make sure I have some of that tree. And then we're going to flip it over and we're going to do 3 7/8. You just want to make sure you get the right part of each seam. Okay, so 3 7/8. Now let's see. We'll keep the tree. I like that, but I also like that tree. So it depends on which we're using this for. So the Santa, okay, since the tree will be behind him anyway, maybe like so, I can keep that tree. Okay, so we're going to flip because he's facing that way. So let's go like that, 5 1/8. I can go ahead and get rid of this tree, okay? So that's cool because now we can lay Santa here and we can put the sentiment here with a bunch of little snowflakes and that way he's covering the tree. All right, good, 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 good. And that's going to go on this red card. I'm going to do the angel on the other one. All right, so there we go, 3 7/8. Now this one you want to use glue for. Because the reason you want to use glue because it's more forgiving. Oh, by the way, this paper, you're all getting this paper in your Hey Chuck kit. If you get the Hey Chuck Workshop Series kit, we're going to be using the reds and things for our rooster cards, right? Because this side of the paper, and there's a lot of pieces of wood grain and things, and we're going to be using it for that kit. So this is a cool paper you're going to be getting, 12 sheets of it, 6 by 6. It's already in a pack of 48, 6 by 6, so I didn't have to cut it, which was nice. Oops, gotta get the margin. That's why, see, this is why you use the glue, liquid glue. So you can get that margin. What a waste of embossed paper. What I mean by that is, I didn't have any that wasn't embossed without cutting my card base away. So like what I'm saying is, this was the embossed piece I used, right? Now I covered up all the embossing. It's pretty cool. It does a cool border. It really does a cool border, but you're like, oh no, I covered up all the embossing. I just didn't have any Misty Moonlight that was already cut the right size, which is fine. I mean, you know, we're not going to cut everything from scratch. We're just going to use the pieces I have. I have so many things here in my piles of cards. All right, so that's good. Very Mary's on the inside. We're going to make that later. Now let's try this one. So for the angel, okay, the angel's facing this way. So it doesn't really matter if I cut that tree, if I cover, it doesn't really matter what I do with that tree because she's facing that way. I'm going to have to cover that tree because she's facing that way. So we'll go ahead and cut this piece off. I like the sky. I like more of the sky, so I'm going to cut. I'm going to go way down here to 3 7/8 and just keep it like that, right? Cut off all this section and then have like all that sky showing. And plus I could put a little bit of thing down the middle of it. 5 1/8. Oh, by the way, you need another piece of red for this card. You'll see what I mean. I put a piece of red here in the middle. So you're just going to get a scrap of a different color. I just used red because it stood out. I'm just trying to find some more red. Ugh, I don't like that one. Here we go. We'll just use this one. Oh, wait, I just had this one. I should have one of these that's already partially cut. Where did you go? I don't know where it went, but okay, we'll just go with this. We're going to say, we're going to make an inch. It has to be about an inch high, your red piece. And the reason I'm doing this now is so I can cut these pieces together, right? When you cut them together, they come out nice. They come out like the same size. So we're going to go, it's going to be 5. Sorry, this one's 5 1/8. 5 1/8. All right. So that's that. So now this will go nice when I put this down. When I put this across the middle, right? It'll stay nice. It won't be like out the edge where I have to flip it over. And usually if you don't cut them together, you end up with like one piece that's like that. And you're like, well, how can that be? You have a trimmer. Well, I don't know how it's like, how can you lose socks in the dryer? It's the same thing. It doesn't make any sense. You're using the same exact trimmer. You cut them the same exact size. And then you go to lay them together and they don't match up. And it doesn't matter that I've done this 10,000 times. But it's just the way it is. It's like our sock gremlins. You can't explain it. All right, so let's go here and just line that up. And now let's find that other piece. I think I'm done with that part. I already have the die cuts made too, as well. Okay, here's this. And I have the pecan pie. Oh, wait, I might need to trim the pecan pie if it's not the right size. Let's see. Is the pecan pie the right size? Yeah, the pecan pie is good. You know what? I might even get out a piece of lemon lolly. I think lemon lolly might look nice behind there. I mean, let's give it a try. Because I think I need to cut, I need a piece of lemon lolly, I'm thinking, because of the color, to pull in that color. As opposed to the pecan pie. 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so what do you guys think? So lemon lolly or pecan pie? Knowing that the angel's going to be on there. So, like, is it too much yellow to put the yellow behind it? The lemon lolly or pecan pie? Okay, oh, I'm getting major votes for lemon lolly. All right, so just it contrasts more, right? So that's good. Put that on there. And now we need our sentiment. Okay. I've been using glue more lately than I do with rolling adhesive, because the rolling adhesive just seems to like just always get stuck. I put it down and then I end up like, oh no, I went like that. And then I lift it up and it rips the whole card. So lately I've been using glue because it's just way more forgiving. And I know that's a lot of glue. What I'm trying to do is just make sure that the card is opening the right way. Okay, so before we do anything else, we need to get our sentiments, because if you don't have the sentiments, you don't know where to put these. Like, that has to be, you know, the next thing. So just go into my buckets of crafty goodness, and we'll pull out. I already do all this stuff ahead of time. These are from what are they? Something Fancy. Listen to me. Something Fancy, like I'm guessing. It's actually called Something Fancy. It does sound like I'm trying to guess the word Something Fancy. That is actually the name of the dies. All right, so we're going to put that there. And you always want to do your inking first. So let's get our stamping block. And we're going to put some pool party on here. Here, let's put some pool party on the stamping block. So let's put a little bit of that on the edge there. Okay, and we're just inking around the edges. Flip it around. Blob it off. And do that. And never just stamp once. We're going to stamp our sentiments on a couple in case it messes up. Plus, that way I can make more cards later with ease. All right, so that's pool party. We've inked around the edges. Now we're going to use... Did I do that for the other one? Peace and Joy. Oh, actually, we do need to do... We need that one for both of them, so that's okay. I'll make some more later. So we need one for Peace and Joy, and we need one for the other sentiment. So we have Peace and Joy. Pull this up over here. Hello, Phyllis from Lala's Crafts. And hello, Cheryl. And Anne. Oh, look, lots of you guys are coming on. Oh, and thank you guys all for voting. It's amazing that Cheryl's from Melbourne, Australia. Newbie is here. It's amazing, like, I don't know you're here, and then I ask for a vote, and then all of a sudden you're here. It's cool. Okay, so we're going to use this one. We're going to use Tis the Season to Be Jolly. And don't worry that your stamp stains. It's just all part of stamping. It stains because, you know, when you use red ink on your stamp, it stains. Oh, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so we're going to do that one, and we'll pull that off. And we're going to do this one. You're just putting it flat side up is all. Peace and Joy. Peace and Joy. We're going to do Peace and Joy for the angel. And then we need a little one for a little stamp for this little guy. And I'm just going to do that one in basic black. Or not, it's not called basic black. It's called basic black when it's cardstock. It's actually called Memento Black. Make sure that's not giving you a glare over there. This is just the mistletoe. Okay, you need basic black because you're going to color the mistletoe. And you're going to use Old Olive for that. And I just used Old Olive light and dark. And then I used, well, let's do the real red. The berries, I just used the light real red for the berries. And then I alternated between light and dark Old Olive. Why Old Olive? Because it is the green that is part of the One Horse Open Sleigh. It's one of the coordinating colors in the One Horse Open Sleigh Designer Series paper. All right, good. Wow, that cap was on there tight. So if you plan on getting this for this holiday season, any of the stamp sets I'm showing you, So Very Merry, One Horse Open Sleigh, which I use for the inside, and the cards I'm about to show you, or this one, which does have a punch with it, but the punch is out right now. If you plan on getting any of these, again, get them during the month of July when you have the bonus days so that you get $5 for every $50 you spend. All right, let's put the cards together. All together now. All right, the angel's going to go over there, and I still want the fence to be shown, I think. So I'm going to put that there. And then I'm going to put, like, this little guy. I put ribbons behind them. I just had her facing that way. The reason I had her facing that way is because she's already, like, that on that side of the card, she's facing that direction. And then something like this. And what I did is I put ribbons behind them. And I used glittered organdy. You can use any combination of these ribbons. Just use whatever ribbons you have. So for this one, I think I'm going to use some of this real red and some glittered organdy. But for this one, I'm going to probably use the pool party and glittered organdy because there's already so much red going on over there. So just cut off a piece of ribbon and put it behind your sentiment. Just put down some adhesive, right? Layer up your layers of ribbon, something like that. And then we'll pop that up on with dimensionals. And then this guy will pop up with dimensionals. And we have some room over there. We'll put some, it's okay to let your things breathe. That nothing, you don't have to center elements on your card. Just put them wherever you want. I want the scene to show of the paper. So like this paper has such a pretty scene on it. I'd rather have the different elements of the paper showing in a certain spot rather than have, like, if it was just plain old paper, I may like center it on my card or whatever. But since it's not plain paper, oops, I want the little elements of the scene to show. All right, so that's that. And now we got to get some dimensionals. Oh my gosh, my golly. Mistletoe and holly. All right, I'm just going to put some of these now. What you want to do is put these like down here and like sort of like that because sometimes, and I'm going to put them also on the ends here. This stuff doesn't really stick very well to this ribbon. It just doesn't. It sticks okay, but look, it's slipping all over the place. Here, if I'm going to do that, I better put some more adhesive behind it. Just from my experience, nothing sticks well to ribbon. So that's why I'm making sure the dimensionals are sort of overlapping the paper a little bit. And do your sentiment first. Boy, I could have put the ribbon on there longer, huh? The ribbon's not showing that much. But it does show enough to give a little contrast behind there, which is cute. I should have made it a little longer. That's what happens when you don't measure. All right, now this one I'm going to do the same thing. Put like some up there. Okay, like there. I'm going to put that some kind of, right? I'm just using pieces of this dimensionals. Okay, that one's centered better. That ribbon looks better behind there because of the contrast. And Santa will go over here. Angel will go over there. We're going to pop those up with dimensionals. We're going to use the pieces of dimensionals because these are big circles, right? And just use giant strips. Don't worry that the alcohol markers kind of go through, because no one can see that anyway. Angel's going to go over there. And that way I could put some snowflakes over there. And Mr. Santa's going to go over here. Let's see. I'm just making like 4 little pieces of dimensionals. All right, snowflake time. And now in this one horse open sleigh suite of products or online exclusive, we have these snowflakes that I'm thinking that they're online exclusive snowflakes. So I better stock up on them, because I totally love these and I want to be able to put these in the kits come this winter. See how cool these are? And they're big, so it makes me like put them all over my scene. So I've been using 5. See how I used, let me move that one over there. See how I've used 5 in the scene? And that way you can get to use some of the copper and some of the, here, look, we'll put a copper one there, right? And you can put a gold one there. And that way the scene is not empty over here. It's pretty cool, right? Then you can take the smaller ones, like this smaller snowflake, put one over there. Like the white would look good against the tree. And then this gold one, we already have a gold one down there. So now we can put another copper one. Put a copper one right up here maybe. Okay, so that's kind of cute. We got 5 snowflakes. And then over here, I'm going to use a big white snowflake on top of the red section. And another white snowflake over here. Okay, and let's put a copper one that's kind of halfway down. And I think a gold one would be nice right here. So you got a lot of snowflakes on that red part. And then let's put a copper one. We'll put a baby copper one over here. So that's how I'm using the snowflakes. Already, like I said, I already forgot the name of them, but they are like that. And now, to top this off, I planned on, and I knew, I was just making sure the time wasn't too long. So what I planned on doing is, I want to show you right now. Let me grab a stamping block. I'm just grabbing a big stamping block. I want to show you right now one of these circle stamps. We'll just take Santa, for example, okay? Santa, we're going to put Santa up on the stamping block like so. I just want to show you how you stamp him and punch him out, so I can show you the punch. So first stamp it onto the paper, your grid paper. Make sure Santa's a good stamped image or a sticky note. And then, of course, your silicone mat, which is somewhere around here. It's better kind of stamp on there. So once you have a good solid image, you're going to just ink them up real good. Get a piece of basic white cardstock. I just got ink on my card. I'm going to have to do that, ink up all 4 corners now to make it look like it's supposed to be like that. All right, so anywho, we're going to put this here. And we're going to stamp like so. Okay, now leave a little space. Don't stamp too close to the edge of your paper. And put the ink pad right back on again quickly so it doesn't mess up your cards. And then you're going to go in there and you're going to center it like so. And punch. Okay, so that is how easy it is to use our punches. This is one of our new punches. 2 3/8 inch circle punch. Hey, there I am. Hello. See, there I 2 3/8 inch circle punch. Available at my Stampin' Up store. I guess they're available. I'm hoping they're available. But, you know, look at that before and after. How fun that is to color the stained glass. Hey, that might look nice too on a card. Sort of like make one that's sort of not colored, like overlap one that is. I mean, there's all kinds of things you could do with it. There's also, you could make a circle, a smaller circle, say, and then, let's see, I have a smaller circle punch. If you have older, this one's probably a retired one, right? Sometimes when you have a retired punch, I mean, I'm not sure if the 2-inch one's retired or not, but I have this 2-inch circle punch. Sometimes when you have these that are kind of not fitting in there, You might have to use a sticky note to get it to go in there. What do I mean by that? I just mean you want to stick it onto a sticky note so that you can get it to go into the punch the right way. Okay, so use the sticky note, hold it there. Oh yeah, that's nice. Okay, so that's going to be cool too. So you could do something like that. And then you could color it in, so, right? And you could maybe do something like that. You could do one that has the big black outline, and then you could make a smaller one with a smaller punch and sort of color it and layer them up. Or you don't have to put two Santas on the same card. You could just use this as a card element. Maybe that one would be nice to just go like that. Right? So, I mean, just ideas for you. All right, let me show you what we made the other day in Christmas in July. But this is what we made now. We made these ones. The angel and the Santa. And I got a little ink on the corner of that one. But it doesn't look bad, actually. I'm just going to put ink on the corners of all my... I'm just going to go ahead and ink up all my corners. Like I'm going to distress all my corners like it was supposed to be like that. That's all. And there we go. So there's your examples of Horse and Sleigh Designer Series paper, the snowflakes, and So Very Merry. So now we'll show you the three we made with Horse and Sleigh. If you want to see how I colored the horses, then please go ahead and watch that on YouTube. Christmas in July. We're having a Christmas in July series. So this is that lemon lolly, that same piece I used for the angel here. I mean, look how different that looks when you take it the angel. But it's still a great scene. It doesn't look like it would be, but it's like the sun's coming through, but it's also like a snowy scene. So it's kind of cool. And then this paper I really love for the background with the horse and sleigh. And this little stamp here was from the Trucking Along. I did that after the video was over because you guys voted on this one. You wanted to see Tis the Season to Be Jolly with that. So that's what you voted on. And you voted on that card background. And then we used Pool Party. This one I used Real Red. I made that one later after the video was over. And here was my sample. For this one I used Wishing You a Season of Cheer. See if I put anything inside. And I put a piece of Designer Series paper on the inside. So that paper is really nice to put on the inside of cards as well. And I used Real Red for the sleigh. And Pecan Pie. That same color of cardstock I had over here, right? That's a pecan pie for the horse. And a bunch of other colors to color with. So see how I did that, if you will. All right, so thank you, Cheryl and Phyllis, Anna. Okay, I'm glad you guys like these. Kathy, Deborah. All right, have a great night. Thank you for watching. This is the Papered Chef.